Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike Janda. I am glad you're here. And today we are going to dig into how to do scope creep change orders. You've probably heard this phrase, change orders. You got to send a change order to your client when they change the scope. Today, you're going to get a crash course on how you do that for your clients, allowing you to charge more money when they change the scope. All right, let's dig in. Before we dig in, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, all that stuff. Channel needs it. I need it for my own self-esteem. All right, scope creep and change orders. Let's go. The first thing you got to do is start with a detailed agreement. Now, your detailed agreement with the client should detail the phases of the project, like a strategy phase, then a design phase, and then a production phase. 3 simple phases. Could be a brochure, could be, let's just do that for a brochure. Brochure, strategy phase, we're going to call it that for now. It is, what are we trying to accomplish? Who are we talking to with this brochure that we're designing? What are the objectives from the client? What is the copy or the content going to be? What do they have to portray? What do we want the action to be? So we're going to dig into that strategy with the client in a little discovery kickoff meeting. Then we're going to design it. We're going to go through maybe some sketches, some mood boards, some design comps that we run through with the client, and then we're going to produce it. We're going to create the press-ready file. So this is just a little breakdown of what that 3-phase kind of approach would be. And if you've taken my courses, my freelance course, you'll know all about that, but I'm just detailing that out for you here because it needs to be in your agreement. You also want to detail the rounds. Tell them what's going to happen every single round. Round 1, round 2, round 3. What do they get? When do they get to approve things? You want to detail that out. Detail out the deliverables. What is the end product that they get? Are you getting the brochures printed for them, or are you just giving them the design files at the end, the press-ready design files? Detail what they don't get. This is out of scope. We're not going to design your website if it's a brochure project. We're not going to do custom illustration. We're not going to make custom infographics. We're not going to do a photo shoot for you. So detail out what they don't get that they might assume might be included, and then detail out the pricing. All right, let's keep going. In your agreement, you can put in this agreement clause that helps you protect the scope and empowers you to send the client change orders. Any items not detailed in this agreement are considered out of scope and may require a change order. All change orders will be discussed with the client prior to incurring additional costs. So that's the clause. Copy it right here, stick it into your agreement. It basically is saying in one sentence, if it's not in this document, it's out of scope and we might have to charge more for it. That's what you want to have in your agreement. That clause is super important to empower you to send a change order, modify the price. Right? Then you're going to just start monitoring the scope as you get going. When the client asks for extra rounds or when they ask for more design comps and things, you want to be able to go back to your agreement and say to them, hey, let me check. Oh, that's out of scope. That is an out of scope thing. It could be extra rounds, could be new features, could be enhanced features. It could be more quantity in pages. They might have a trifold brochure that now they're saying, hey, actually, we were thinking it might be like a cool saddle stitch brochure with 7 pages or 8 pages in it. How's that? Can we change that to that? You want to be able to push back because you originally bid a trifold brochure. And if you can't find it in your agreement, then pursuant to our clause, it is out of scope. So you tell the client, it's out of scope. Thanks for the request. Since it isn't part of our original scope, we will be happy to provide you with a price and timeline to add it. Just use that little script and then see what the client says. And sometimes the client's going to be like, what? What the what? I thought this would just be included. They're going to have what I call that freak out moment. Not always, but some of them. And you're going to have to navigate that freak out with the client. Stay calm. No emotion. It's all business. Don't budge if you plan to charge more for it. As you can clearly see in our agreement, putting your logo on the side of SpaceX was not part of the original agreement. They ask for some crazy stuff sometimes, these clients. So you navigate the freak out, but just go robot. If you're going to charge for it, and if it's a big enough change and you're not going to absorb it, then push back. Tell them, I'm sorry, it's not in the scope, but we're happy to add it. It's going to increase the price by X, which is the next phase. You're going to send them a written addendum. You're going to detail the new scope. You're going to detail the new deliverables, and you're going to give them a new price. This is just an add-on piece to the existing agreement you have with them. Call it an addendum. I'm going to show you some examples. Now, whether you charge the client or not, give them an addendum. Whether you charge them or not, I'm going to give you an example of that coming up here. All right, here's what an addendum can look like. Just stick a little title page on it, and then on one column, you put in the original scope. If it was a trifold brochure with these dimensions, and now it is going to be an 8-panel brochure, 4 pages, folded, blah, 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 saddle stitch, you're going to define the difference. So you're going to say, here's the original, here is the modified. It negates what was in the original, and now we're going to do the modified scope. Then you're going to give them a budget to make that change, and then you're going to give them a little acceptance page. So these addendums can be very, very small because all of the documentation is inside of the original agreement. You don't need to add it to the whole big new agreement. If you had a 10-page document, this can still just be a little 2 or 3 page thing that says, here's the original scope, here's the new scope, here's your price, sign this. That is the flow of making a change order. We did this in like 7 minutes. Not too shabby. If you are not sending change orders to your clients, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. We tend to just absorb the extra stuff. We're like, oh, I don't want to make my client mad, so I'm not going to push back on that. I just want them, just keep them happy, keep them paying. But sometimes these are big changes and they cost you a lot more time and money to execute. So don't be afraid to push back and tell the client, I'm sorry, that is not included in the original scope. Here is a change order for you. You want to proceed. What happens sometimes too, clients like, oh, okay, well, I guess, no, I don't really want that anymore. Sometimes they just go back to the original. In fact, that happens a lot. All right, I hope this was a good little crash course on change orders, scope creep for you, and it helps you charge more money for your creative business. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment. Do you use the change order process like this? Have you taken my courses in the past? How have they impacted your business? Check it out. And I got a lot of links in the description. Okay, we'll see you again in another video in the future.